Hey, wrestling fans. Welcome to another live stream from 360 Wrestling Podcast right here on YouTube. And start off this live stream right here Sunday night, September 3rd, 2017. Real quick, I just want to talk about the stream that I did the other night. In case you've seen it, I had a special live stream with a guest, Blake Acumen, and there was some stream issues. Unfortunately, had a few problems during the stream. Problems, of course, the issues had with the stream. It was a very good interview. It's just too bad that had to have those complications with the stream that kind of messed it up. But if you missed it, I still recommend that watch it anyway because it is a very good interview. Blake Acumen, very good, talented wrestler in the ring. But since we had those complications during the stream, did a podcast episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. And in case you haven't heard that episode yet, you can find links to it on the 360 Wrestling Podcast social media, either the Facebook page or the Twitter. Links are posted on all the social media, and I definitely recommend it. It's a good listen. Like I said, one of the top up and coming stars right here in Michigan, Blake Acumen, the Chemical Cruiserweight. We discussed things from Teddy Long's appearance at Metro Pro Wrestling a few weeks ago, a little WWE in there, Okada being number one on the PWI 500, the incident that took place at Triple A's Triple Mania involving the Reina de Reinas champion Sexy Star and Pat Superstar Rosemary. We talked about that a little bit. He gave his opinion on it. And of course, we talked about his career, what promotions he worked for. And like I said, we talk more to, and it's a very good interview. Goes close to 44 minutes, I believe. And once again, you can find the links to that interview on the social media of 360 Wrestling Podcast. But now tonight, I talk a little bit of news and start off with some good news actually, and that is involving the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who is doing much better now. And I'm sure, as most of you have seen, that he posted a video, an update on his health. Like I said, luckily he is doing a lot better now than he was just a ago. That is great news to hear, and some news that came out the other day. JBL leaving WWE. As you know, SmackDown Live commentator. And he did say, though, that he will make appearances for things like Tribute to the Troops and WrestleMania, is stepping down as commentator for SmackDown Live. And to be honest, personally, I always enjoyed JBL on commentary. I think, though, he was better when he first started commentary back around 2007 or so. But he hasn't been bad lately, though. And the question is now, who will come as the commentator on SmackDown now? It'll be interesting to see. And some other news I want to get to is actually finally made his return to the ring last night at a Raw house show. It has been quite a while since we have seen Young in action. Of course, he's been out with an injury. And reportedly, there was a backstage incident that almost got Baron Corbin fired. Dave Meltzer has revealed on the Wrestling Observer message board that there was an incident which took place backstage a few weeks ago that angered WWE officials. This is according to Dave Meltzer. Only thing I can say is that there was an incident. It wasn't anything reported, nothing in the ring not related to Twitter or talent, and they changed booking plans. It is rumored that the incident stems from a meeting with the WWE doctor Joseph Maroon, who was given a talk to talent about concussions, and Corbin apparently interrupted him several times in disagreement. So that could be why it kind of seems like, as of late, Corbin has been buried. Recently, he cashed in the Money in the Bank and lost, becoming only the second to cash in the Money in the Bank and lose, the third, if you count Cena, to cash it in and not win the title, actually. And that is about all of the news I have to talk about for this live stream. First, this weekend's episode of Ring of Honor featured tag team action in the main event. American Nightmare Cody, whose shirt I got on right now, and Hangman Page, representing the Bullet Club, took on the team of Bully Ray and Mark Briscoe. The Bullet Club gets the win in this tag team match. Pretty good main event. I definitely watching this episode of Ring of Honor TV, either on TV, you get ROH TV in your area, or if you don't get it in your area, I definitely recommend downloading the Fight TV app. Good way to watch some independent wrestling, such as, I don't know if it's not really an independent, but Ring of Honor and other promotions, wrestling from Hollywood, New Ohio Wrestling, CMLL, and other promotions are on the Fight TV app. Of course, you got the pay-per-views as well. Death Before Dishonor coming up. You got Impact One Night Only with the GFW Amped anthology. I definitely recommend, if you're a wrestling fan, that you download the Fight app. Got a lot of great wrestling content on it. And now at this time, streaming the podcast the other day with Blake Acumen, we talked about the PWI 500, number one, the IWGP heavyweight champion, Kazuchika Okada. But now at this time, I'm going to go more into the list. I'm not going to talk about the whole list. I'm not going to mention 100 wrestlers because that would take too long. But I am going to talk a little bit about some of the wrestlers on the list. And the first one I want to talk about that is on the list is number 492, and that is Michigan's own amazing Nate Manson, who has been a guest on 360 Wrestling Fanatic before. And like when I've had him on the podcast before, I've talked about him with Blake Acumen. When I've had him on the podcast before, definitely a Michigan wrestling legend. If you haven't seen Nate Manson at all, I definitely recommend you Google him, find matches on YouTube, check him out. Great talent in the business. And going down the list right now, who has competed quite a bit here in Michigan, who's also GFW Impact Wrestling right now, Idris Abraham, number 457. And Zach Gowen, another former guest of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, number 407. And if you haven't heard the episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, that was a few years ago, but I'm sure you can find it. It's on blogtalkradio.com/360 Wrestling Fanatic. Is it? I haven't done an episode on Blog Talk Radio in quite a long time. If you Google it, I can find it. And maybe soon on the 360 Wrestling Podcast, the Facebook and the Twitter, I'll post a link to that so you can go back and check it out. Very good interview with Zach Gowen. In case you haven't heard that yet. Blue Demon Jr. at 357. Rockstar Spud, 312. Once again, I'm not going over the whole list, the whole 500. Just going to talk about some of the wrestlers that are ranked in the top 500 or so. Or not the whole 500, I meant, but we got Eddie Kingston at 242, Bram at 241. One, Arya Davari from the Raw Cruiserweight Champion, or Cruiserweight Division, I should say, and 205 Live. Number 184 is the new GFW Global Champion, Eli Drake. And Matt Sydal at 176. And rounding out the top 100, at 100 is Keith Lee, 99 Timothy Thatcher. Let's move up a little bit. Abyss is 77. 50 is Tyler Bate. 49, Baron Corbin. 48, Takahashi. 47, Yamato. 46, Ricochet. 45, Matt Hardy. 44 is Rusev. 43, Mark Haskins. Matt Jackson, one half of the Young Bucks. 41, Sami Zayn. Number 40, the other half of the Young Bucks. Nick Jackson. Number 39, the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Should be ranked a little higher than that. Number 38, Kyle O'Reilly. 37, the former GFW Global Champion, Alberto El Patron. 6, EC3, Ethan Carter III. 35, TJP. 34, Braun Strowman. 33, once again, I got his shirt on right here if you can see, the American Nightmare, Cody. 32, Dolph Ziggler, who has finally returned to TV. Curious to see what they're going to do with him now. 31 is another Bullet Club member, the villain Marty Scurll. 30 is the WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. 29, Zack Sabre Jr., or 26, excuse me. 25, Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion. 24, on Lucha Underground anyway, now known as Johnny Impact and Global Force Wrestling. 23 is Shibata. 22, Chris Jericho. Number 21, Will Ospreay. The top 20, Kushida. 19, John Cena. 18, Walking Armageddon, Bobby Lashley. 17, Christopher Daniels. 16, Seth Rollins. 15, Bray Wyatt. No disrespect to Bray Wyatt, who is right back there. And surprised he's ranked that high. Nothing against him, but I thought he would have been a little lower than that. Number 14 is Adam Cole. 13, the Viper Randy Orton. 12 is Naito. 11 is the King of the Cruiserweights, Neville. 10 is The Miz. 19 is who recently made his SmackDown Live debut, the Glorious One, is Dean Ambrose. 7, Samoa Joe. Number 6, Shinsuke Nakamura. 5, Kevin Owens. Number 4, Roman Reigns. 3, Kevin Owens. And number 2, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And of course, number 1, we have talked about already, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Kazuchika Okada. Definitely well deserving. I don't know why anybody with that decision. And that is it for this live stream of 360 Wrestling Podcast. And once again, I want to remind everybody, the 360 Wrestling Fanatic, the interview with Blake Acumen, I put a link to that interview in the description for this live stream. And hopefully everybody will enjoy the interview. And thanks for tuning in to this live stream. Remember, you can like 360 Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, and the podcast that is all about the collective league of adrenaline, strength, and honor, Clash Wrestling 360. We had the huge event Clash 150. So stay tuned to Clash 360 for more info. Tickets are available now at clashwrestling.com. $12 each or 4 for 40. That's the best deal. But tickets will be available on the night of the show for only $15 each. Still a great deal. Not to miss that event, Clash 150. It will be history making. Live at the Taylor Town Trade Center in Taylor, Michigan, and Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod, the Instagram 360 Wrestling Podcast, and the email if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. And also, if you're watching this right now, you already know about the YouTube channel, but not sure what day, but coming soon. I think I'm going to do a Q&A or comments. If you have any, you can either post your questions or the comments, whatever you want here in the comments, or can go to the 360 Wrestling Podcast Facebook page and the Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. Questions. You can tweet 360 Wrestling Pod or the Facebook, like I said, or join the 360 Wrestling Podcast Facebook group. Or, once again, post your questions here. Whatever you want, post them here on YouTube, on this video, in the comments. And email is another way you can post questions or anything for the next live stream. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that stream, but should be coming soon. Hopefully I'll get some good questions, some good comments. Just remember to post them. And you can support 360 Wrestling Podcast and make the podcast 360 Wrestling Fanatic, Wrestling 360 even better by supporting the Patreon. And it is patreon.com/360 Wrestling Podcast. It's in the description. And I'll be doing on there blogs and extra podcasts for the Patreon supporters. Anything you can do to help will be appreciated. But that is it for this live stream. To stay tuned for any more live streams. Best way to find out when I'm going live or posting any videos of any kind is subscribing right here on YouTube and clicking that bell for the notifications. You'll be the first to know. And for more episodes of 360 Wrestling Podcast, or 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I should say, on Facebook and the Twitter, and as I mentioned a little bit ago, Clash Wrestling 360. Until next time, I am Lance, and I am Fanatic.